They tell you that you own it, you signed the title, you paid the mortgage, and you pay the taxes. But in 2026, ownership is becoming a legal fiction. Right now, as we speak, a quiet mandate has rolled out across the United States that you've probably heard about that installs a new digital leash on every new vehicle hitting the showroom floor. A kill switch, not to protect you from theft, but to give the government the power to decide if you're fit to drive at any given moment. But guys, that doesn't stop at the driveway. While everyone was arguing over the drunk driving mandates in the 2021 Infrastructure Act, they were quietly rewriting the rules of your home's sanctuary. They've moved from your car to your kitchen, from your engine to your electrical panel. I'm talking about the 2024 NEC updates. I'm talking about the mandatory externalization of your home's power. They are moving the off switch of your life to the outside of your property where they control it and not you. So today we're going to be connecting the dots. We're looking at why this safety first narrative is actually a control first Trojan horse. And if you value your independence, if you're building a barndominium or a new home to get away from all of the overreach, you need to see what's actually being baked into the new codes, because the truth is rather simple. If someone else can turn it off, do you really own it? So let's get into it. Let's start with the car. For those of you who haven't been following Section 24220 of the Infrastructure Investment and Jobs Act, yes, that bipartisan bill, it's finally here. The law mandates that all new passenger vehicles must be equipped with advanced impaired driving prevention technologies. And on paper, that sounds fantastic. Nobody wants a drunk driver on the road, but read the fine print. For this system to work, the car's computer must have the ability to passively monitor the driver and disable the vehicle at any given moment. This isn't just a breathalyzer. We're talking about infrared cameras that are tracking your eye movements, sensors monitoring your steering patterns, and an algorithm, one that you didn't vote for and can't audit, deciding if your driving is abnormal today. If the algorithm flags you, the car shuts down. And here's the mitt and grip reality check. If a software backdoor exists to stop a drunk driver, that same backdoor can be used to stop a non-compliant citizen. Think about it. We've already seen what happens when people protest or don't follow the latest mandates. We've seen bank accounts get frozen. Now imagine if your car, the very tool for your freedom, simply won't start because you have an unpaid fine, an expired registration, or because there's a regional emergency and the government has decided to limit non-essential travel. This is the death of the getaway car, and this is the end of the open road. And while you're staring at the dashboard wondering why your truck won't shift into drive, the same philosophy is now being applied to the roof over your head. All right, now let's pivot to the home. Most of you watching this are DIYers. You're preppers, you're building new homes and barndos because you want your own fortress. You want a 200 amp or 400 amp service that you control. But have you looked at the recent changes to the National Electrical Code, specifically Section 230.85? For over a century, the main breaker, the heart of your home's power, was located inside your home. Usually it was in the basement, in the garage, in a bedroom, in the hallway, or in some older homes in the bathroom even. If you wanted to kill the power to your house, you had to be inside the perimeter, and it's not the case anymore. The latest code mandates an emergency disconnect on the exterior of all new 1 and 2 family dwellings. The official reason, firefighter safety. They want to be able to pull the power before they enter a burning building without waiting for the utility company to show up. And look, I love firefighters. I love safety. I want everyone to be safe, but we have to ask the hard question. Since when did my safety require making my home's most vulnerable point accessible to any random person walking by? Think about the tactical disadvantage. You're home, it's 2 a.m. and somebody wants to get in. In the old days, they'd have to cut the lines or find the meter. Now, there's a big, beautiful lever right on your siding that says off. They flip it, your lights go out, your security cameras go dark, and your smart locks, if they don't have a backup, might just default to open. But it's worse than just burglars. By moving the disconnect to the outside, the kill switch becomes a public utility. We're already seeing the rise of smart meters that can already remotely throttle your home's power. And when you combine a smart meter with one of these new exterior disconnect requirements, you are essentially building a remote controlled cage that you get to live in. And it's not just the switch, it's the components inside of your box. If you've priced out new build lately, you know that AFCI arc fault circuit interrupter breakers are now required for almost every room in your house, not the old standard GFIs. A standard breaker used to cost you what, $5 or $6? An AFCI breaker, you're looking at $50, $60, sometimes $80 per circuit. On a standard Barndo build, you're paying a safety tax of thousands of dollars just for breakers. But here's the kicker, they are notorious for nuisance tripping. You plug in a vacuum cleaner, it trips. You plug in a power tool in your shop, trips. The industry says they're preventing fires. The DIY community says that they're making our homes rather unreliable. It forces you to rely on an expensive licensed contractor for every minor hiccup because the smart tech in your walls is too sensitive for real world work. So guys, do you see the pattern? In the car, technology that overrides the driver. In the home, technology that overrides the owner. They are making independence too expensive. They want you to be a subscriber to your life, not an actual owner of it. They want a world where you can be disabled by a software update and your home can be darkened by a bureaucrat with a tablet. So Brett, what do we do? Do we just roll over and accept the kill switch? No, this is why we build the way that we build and talk the way that we talk, and this is why the mitten grip exists. If they want to put a kill switch on your car, you maintain your older mechanical vehicles. You learn how to wrench or find somebody that does, and you keep the stuff that doesn't have a cellular modem tucked into the dash around a little bit longer. And if they want to put a kill switch on your home, you build for redundancy. First, think about solar, battery backup. If they flip the exterior lever, your house shouldn't even flicker. Your inside power should be independent of the outside switch. Second, manual transfer switches. Make sure you have the ability to isolate your home from the grid entirely. And third, physical security. If you're forced by code to have an exterior disconnect, you better believe mine is going to be inside a locked steel enclosure or behind a gate that makes a quick flip virtually impossible. We have to start thinking like pioneers again. A pioneer didn't wait for a safety mandate to tell them how to actually build their cabin. They built it to survive. The 2024 electrical codes aren't just about wires. They're about the terms of service for your life. They're trying to move the main breaker of your freedom out of your hands and into a public-facing wall. Look, I know some people will call this conspiracy talk. They'll say it's just for the firefighters or it's just to stop the drunk drivers. And to them, I say, just look at history. Power once taken is never voluntarily given back. Every emergency power ever granted to the government has eventually been used against law-abiding public. A kill switch is a gun pointed at your autonomy. It doesn't matter who's holding it today. What matters is that the gun exists. We're building Barndominiums because we want to be free. We want our kids to grow up in a place where on means on and no means no. Don't let the code compliance officers and the automotive lobbyists tell you that this is for your own good. It's for their convenience. So guys, please stay independent, stay strapped, and for heaven's sake, keep your hands off the breakers. We'll see you on the next one.